Hey everyone, welcome to Stories from the Sales Vault. And today I would like to talk to you about sales slumps, the thing that no salesman really wants to talk about. But if you've been in sales for long as I have, 40 years, then you would have been through a few sales slumps in your career. Those times when, for whatever reason, you just can't seem to sell your way out of a paper bag. And your morale goes down, your confidence goes down, you start questioning everything. And sure, I've been through my share of sales slumps. And probably the biggest sales slump that I faced was during the 2008 global financial crisis. The business that I owned at the time, we went from selling $750,000 worth of equipment a month, and seemingly overnight, bang, it went down to $75,000 a month. The pressure was on because all of a sudden revenue was obviously very, very tight. And I had to sell something to keep the doors of the business open. But how do you sell something in a market where no one wants to buy anything? And I guess that was the biggest challenge. And for me, it really came down to understanding who I was and who I am, because my first reaction when you need to sell something, your first reaction is to change things. And for me, my natural selling style is to have a joke, to horse around, to be a bit of a smartass. And it's always worked for me. But as soon as I started needing to sell something, and I really needed to sell something, I turned that off because I thought it might offend people. I also went back to the books. I read as much as I could. I was listening to all the mindset stuff that I could find back then. I was reading it. And it became clear to me after about 3 months, because during the sales process, because I'd turned off my natural authenticity, I started becoming nervous when I was doing a sales pitch for the first time in my life. I started to get dry in the mouth. I couldn't figure it out. So yes, I modified my technique a little bit, but then I realized, hey, look, Marty, you were really good before. Don't change anything. Bring it back. So when I decided to do that, when I decided to just be me again and turn back on my authentic nature, sales started to roll in. Yes, I'd embedded it with a few other learnings that I'd learned along the way, but whenever a salesperson is in a sales slump, the tendency is to change things. But look back over your record in sales and understand that you've been successful for a reason. Sure, you want to give it some thought. Sure, you want to have a look at your tips, the techniques, what's going on in the marketplace, because they make a big difference. But the one thing that you don't want to change is who you are, because you're awesome and you've proven that over a number of years. So always be authentic. And that was the lesson for me. The story and the moral of this story from the Sales Vault is, no matter what's going on, always be authentic. Sure, layer it with different pieces of information, layer it with different tips and techniques that you're trying on, but always, always be authentic. Always be you. Have a great week.